Hey y'all, this message is for someone, and I'm so thrilled that it found you, always in the perfect timing. But it's for someone who has been healing ancestral trauma, or sometimes we refer to it as generational trauma. You are the one who is here now, healing your ancestral line. We hear a lot about this within the spiritual community, but what does that actually mean at the level of your DNA? Okay, this is where we get into this thing called epigenetics. It's another passion of mine, but ultimately, epigenetics is the differential expression of your DNA, your genes, according to the environment that you surround yourself with. So here you are, this person who is living on Earth right now, or you can call yourself a multidimensional being, whatever you refer to yourself as. That's totally fine. You do have this 3D existence, right? So there's your physiology, what makes up your physical body, and all that. Now, on that level, your DNA, of course, contains your predecessors, because that's how we're made, right? 50% of your DNA comes from your mom, 50% from your dad, and so on and so forth. Same for them and for them and for them. So your DNA code literally contains your ancestry in that sense. Now, not all the genes of your DNA are expressed. In fact, 99% of our DNA is not expressed. And what I mean by that, it is hidden and doesn't actually become a protein or any physical thing, right? I know. Imagine that. 99% of our DNA is what some people refer to junk DNA. Now, I don't think that's correct at all, but nonetheless, 99% of our DNA doesn't turn into proteins, okay, which make up our body and behavior and all that, neurochemicals. So I hope you're still with me. I know it's a bit nerdy, but listen, you've been healing yourself. I get it. I'm right there with you, and it ain't easy, but the thing is what's happening to you at the level of your DNA is now you find yourself in an environment, right? You've incarnated here on Earth at this time because this environment is actually favorable for your DNA to express itself in a way that you can actually tend and heal to those things that your predecessors couldn't. Let me give you an example. Let's say you surround yourself, okay, very, very straightforward example here, but when you've noticed this, when you surround yourself with a very stressful environment, be it your social environment, physical environment, work environment, whatever environment, you are stressed out. In that environment, your DNA behaves in the following way. Genes that are stress-prone genes like cortisol, right? They get expressed in a way that the DNA literally opens up and allows the transcription machinery to come in and translate it into proteins so that you get a cortisol spike or surge within your body. And of course, the more cortisol you have in your body over time, that can lead to not so good effects on your health. Now, the opposite scenario is if you find yourself in a positive environment, whether it's your social environment, psychological environment, your physical environment, but you are safe, okay, it is a safe environment. And what happens in this environment, genes like serotonin, also known as the happy molecule, actually gets readily transcribed by your body. So then you get the surge of serotonin and experience an uplift in your mood. So that's another example. And epigenetics lives through the germline. So whatever you experience now will be transferred to your kids and their kids and their kids and so on and so forth. So in that sense, your ancestors really are with you. Like if you think about the example of the Holocaust, right? The people, the survivors of the Holocaust had children, and then those children presented with severe, dysfunctions, and a lot of them had to seek a lot of help for it, even though they weren't the ones exposed to that horror of the Holocaust. So that's how epigenetics works. It is passed down the germline. So here you are with all the stuff from your ancestors, be it your parents, their parents, their parents' parents, and so forth and so long. Maybe they were in the Holocaust, maybe they were in the Atlantean times or whatever. So all of that info is now within you, and you found yourself on Earth right now, right? There's a reason. Ugh, mosquito, go away. There's a reason why we've incarnated on Earth at this time. I believe it's because it is a very favorable environment for our DNA to open up, and those traumas that our ancestors couldn't deal with can now be dealt with, given the spiritual, physiological, social environment on Earth right now. Okay, and so that's why many of us have been given the opportunity to heal ancestral trauma. That is purely my view from the point of view of epigenetics, right? How our environment impacts the expression of our DNA. What you believe is completely up to you. I will leave that up to you, but hopefully from what I've said, you can follow my drift here. And the same goes, with ancestral gifts. It's like your environment or our environment will either be supportive for the expression of those genes for those certain psychic abilities, let's say claircognizance, right? And so as you heal, your DNA, I believe, also opens up in ways to allow for ancestral gifts to come through again, because this environment right now is favorable. There's a safe environment, so the more work you do to heal that ancestral trauma, your environment becomes a safer place for those gifts to come through and be expressed as pieces of your DNA that, of course, manifest as psychic abilities or whatnot. All right, I trust that this made a difference to you, and I thank you for being the one to really heal your line, your ancestral line. It's not a small job by any means. And if you think that this video will make a difference to someone on their journey, please share it with them. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. Thank you.